Hey everybody! If you remember a couple of weeks back, this happened. I flew my drone into a roof of a bando and it ended up bending a prop, flying off and smashing into the ground. It broke off a motor. This motor here is only held on by one bolt at the moment, but these motors are pretty much done for. And we're going to be doing up this entire quad, to be honest. There's a couple of things about it I don't like. The flight controller, even from new, came without being able to run the camera through it. So the camera is hardwired direct to the video transmitter. The camera itself is kind of too wide for the mounting ports. I'm not sure if that's something that they updated after Joshua Bardwell originally built this quad. But I've got a smaller camera to fit there. Hopefully we get it a little bit further forwards, because when you're looking through the actual goggles you can see the frame through the camera, which I'd like to get the camera just mounted a little bit further forwards to avoid that. And we're basically just going to be giving it a complete overhaul. So first thing I'm going to do is tear this thing down, take off everything that I don't want, and I'll get back to you when I've done that. So with the power of editing, here we go. 3, 2, 1, bam! Okay, so we're down to its core components, taking everything off: flight controller, motors, VTX and receiver. I will be reusing this receiver. I've got a new VTX to go on, all new motors and a new flight controller. The camera's still on at the moment, but we will be sorting that out shortly. So, new motors that I've got are these Zing 2207 1800 kV motors. Lovely, brand new. So we're going to go ahead and start installing these. Just make sure that these screws aren't going to be too long. On the long side, but they're not going up into the motor, so we should be alright at that. Although technically I should probably put a washer on there, make sure. But okay, one thing I've done, if you notice, I've put my cables kind of running off a way that most people wouldn't, but because I want my motors spinning inwards, if I bring them around that way, prop should never hit the wires. Okay, I love these tweezers for tinning. Perfect. Did I turn that off? Let's just take this out of the light. Okay, so that's all done. Probably not the neatest wiring in the world, but you can see they're all on. So what we got is these excess wire here, so we might as well just try and tidy that up a little bit. Just getting some electrical tape. And what I kind of planned to do is to have this wire running down the inside of the arm like that, with the excess poking out here. So, not really underneath the arm, down the edge nicely. But let's do this in steps. That edge there. Like so. And if we can get these wires up there. More or less like that. That sits them nice and neatly, out of harm's way. Yeah, I like that. So I'm going to do that another 4 times. Okay, so that's got the wires nice and neat, or as neat as we're going to get them. Next thing I want to look at is fixing this, just like I did in the video the other day, so I don't really need to show you that. So we might as well cut to the next bit. Okay, so we got that nice and neat. It's a lot safer than it was. Secured it on that standoff as well, where it normally is. So the next part is to have a look at the new flight controller. This is the flight controller that I've chosen. It's a Foxeer F722 F7 flight controller. And one of the first things we're going to do is take a look and see what the difference is between the pin structure on the flight controller and the Xilo Stax ESC. See if they match up, and if they don't, we're going to have to well, repin them. So I've got some gummies here to stick in it as well. So what we're going to do is take a look at this, and what we've got is our receiver 4, current, motor 4, 3, 2, 1, VBAT and ground. And the Xilo is completely different. So on the Xilo, all the motors are first, then you've got your telemetry, your current, VBAT and ground. This one, the motors are all in the middle. You've got your receiver, your telemetry one end with the current, and the VBAT and ground the other end. So what we'll do is we'll get our, oh, the other thing is, this flight controller, this is on the front rather than the back, which it was on the old flight controller, which I'll show you now the difference. Arrow facing forwards, so that goes forwards, arrow facing forwards, yeah. So we might as well have a look in the Xilo Stax tub to see if we've got a shorter lead that we can redo the pins on. So I'll look at that in a moment.